A Florida car salesman decides to ambush a black driver over a payment mix-up. Put up the picture full mass. Erik Hadad was convicted last week after a federal jury found him guilty of carjacking a 24-year-old black male due to a mix-up on an auto loan. Local station WPLG reported the victim financed a 2020 Honda Accord last October, but was unaware of an agreement between the finance company and Guru Auto Sales, owned by 58-year-old Erik Hadad's family. That's according to the U.S. Department of Justice. That agreement stipulated that if a customer was late on the payment within the first 2 months of the loan, the finance company would demand the approximately $13,800 it paid for the loan back from the dealership, okay? However, the customer was unaware of this, as he was not provided a copy of the paperwork submitted to finalize the deal. Quote, that part of the agreement mattered because the victim's first payment bounced after he set up auto pay, with the victim paying the first installment late and with a late fee in late November 2023, prosecutor said in a press release. That led the finance company to send Guru, the auto company, a letter on December 14th, 2023, demanding the loan of about $13,000 be paid immediately. Guru was told they could not repossess the car, and within 5 days, the victim was current on his account. But that did not stop Mr. Hadad from taking action himself, following the victim in a BMW to Miami International Airport. At a red light, he got out of his car and approached the man's vehicle. Quote, Hadad, whom the victim had never met before, got out of the black BMW in the middle of the intersection and approached the victim's Honda, ripping off the paper temporary tag and aggressively yelling at him to get out of the car, the DOJ said in a statement. Now, what do you have so far? Easily, this is a carjacking, period. The prerequisite doesn't matter, because even if there's a legitimate reason to repo, there's also a legitimate mandate of protocol for a repo to happen. He decided to engage outside of the legal standard that is allowable by law, even if he had the ability to do so. So the victim sped away, as anyone would do, when the light turned green. But Hadad eventually got back in his car, caught up with him at the Mia Tri-Rail station, authorities said, and resumed, quote, aggressively screaming for the victim to get out the car. Hadad lifted his shirt and revealed that he had a gun holstered in his waistband, which led the victim to surrender his keys, the DOJ release states. The victim called Miami-Dade police, who arrested Hadad, an Israeli national. State charges later became federal after it was determined the Honda sold to the victim was transported, shipped, and received in interstate and foreign commerce. Prosecutor said Hadad is scheduled to be sentenced on the 9th of January. He faces up to 15 years in prison. All right, so first of all, the deal is kind of loopy, all right? If you're late on the first two payments, they have the ability to require this $13,000 plus at that time. That should have been read by the owners of the dealership, and the paperwork should have been provided to the purchaser, but that was not provided. And so naturally, there's absolutely no reason that this individual who's driving his vehicle would ever believe that this is some kind of legitimate repo. And the other side of this is he could have shot the man pursuing him. Because naturally, all of us would have been in fear for our lives and assuming that this is a regular carjacking, if that's even a terminology. But now this individual not only has lost his job, he's lost his career, he lost his earnings, and is likely facing many years in prison for something that could have been handled by way of conversation and paperwork. Francesca, who in the hell in Florida who sells you a car believes that they should be able to get in their Beamer, follow you to the airport, and carjack you in broad daylight?
Just wild. I mean, I'm so glad this didn't end worse
Yeah.
for people involved, right? He's got a gun. But like, first of all, what kind of a deal is this anyway? This is a 2020 Honda Accord. Like, no disrespect to the Hondas because they're good cars, but
Yeah.
like $13,800 for late on your payment, that's the whole car. I'm sorry. Like
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
that's pretty much the whole car. And clearly the gentleman who bought it was not aware of this. And then let's go back to the details. It was good within 5 days. They
Right.
got their money within 5 days, but no. Any excuse. And you know what, Doc? It's very, to me, it gives landlord vibes, right? It gives
Mm.
like anyone who
Mm-hmm.
makes their money off of, rent, late payments, debt. Like this is the kind of thing that they do as a living. They get passive income relying on all of us, right? And our hard-earned money and labor. But also additionally, if we don't make our payments exactly on time, these people and financiers like this get this passive income, right? And then when anything is like, clearly the guy's got time on his hand. This dude Hadad doesn't have a job. His job is literally, he thinks, to chase people down and get their money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is such a sick and twisted way we do just like basic economics for working people in this
Yeah.
country, which you can get followed by whether it's your landlord who's like not upkeeping with your building or whether it's some psycho who wants his payment, which he did get, but he's bored. So he's going to go chase you down in his Beamer.
And the irony at the end of the day is if the individual would have displayed just a level of humanity about the situation, regardless if he's upset about this letter from the finance company, if he would have displayed a level of humanity, he would have avoided this entire thing. But because he treated the individual less than human and did to him what he would have never wanted to happen to himself, he's now in the predicament you see before you.